we need to understand that no operating system is actually secure out of the box. Some are more secure than others. Okay, that is true. Some are less prone to vulnerabilities and viruses and so forth, right? Traditionally speaking, the Mac OS has been a lot less susceptible to viruses and so forth. Not 100% true. Okay, nothing is 100% secure. So there are things that we need to do to make sure that we harden up our systems. And such things as patching, removing unnecessary applications, disabling unnecessary services. Okay, we talked about this before, but we need to make sure that we reduce that attack surface as much as possible. And by removing unnecessary applications, okay, if we don't need something, why have it there? Why leave it lingering? Because there's a good chance if we don't really use it that often, we'll forget to manage it, we'll forget to patch it, update it, and so forth. So that increases the risk that we will have some type of glaring hole, a vulnerability, or something that's not patched for an extended period of time that gives an attacker that entrance into the operating system or the application. All right, so if we don't need it, let's remove it. Same thing with disabling unnecessary services. If it's not needed, like for instance, if we don't need FTP, Telnet, there are a couple of the ones right out of the box that most things have turned on by default, let's remove them or disable them. That way it gives less and less of an attack surface, or less and less backdoors, if you will, or kind of inroads into that specific OS or piece of hardware. And then a firewall. At a very bare minimum, we need to make sure that we turn on the OS firewall. All right, there are other firewalls that we can install that can be hardware-based or software-based, but we need to make sure that we turn these things on. What does a firewall do? A firewall is going to block ports, block incoming connections, and in some cases also block outgoing connections from our specific operating system, whether it's Mac, Linux, Windows. So by doing that, we can ensure that we're not leaving holes open, doors open, if you will, where we don't need to. So some firewalls come out of the box and they basically turn everything off and we have to manually enable what we need. Others start off with everything open and then we close the doors or close the ports kind of one by one in a manual process. Some have learning capabilities where we can turn everything off, and then as applications need access, it will prompt us and say, hey, do you want to allow this application out or this connection in? And you can manually say yes to each of those and kind of give a more granular approach. Okay, it just depends on how you want to approach that within your specific organization.